Good evening. There are signs of unrest, violence and disorder in the Midlands tonight. Gangs of masked youths smashed windows and looted several shops in Birmingham city centre. We can cross now to our correspondent Becky Johnson at police headquarters in Birmingham. Becky, what is the latest?
Well, hundreds of young people have been out on the streets of Birmingham city centre all evening. They've been smashing shop windows, they've been stealing whatever they could from inside, they've been throwing what sounded like firecrackers, and at the moment we can still see gangs of youths roaming the streets. Now, there are hundreds of riot police around, but whenever the police move in, the mobs just seem to move into a different area. I believe my colleague Katie Fawcett has an update on the latest situation.
Looting on the streets of Birmingham. As the police pull up, people grab what they can. This was one of a number of shops smashed in the city centre as police tried to get ahead of the groups, often finding scenes like this by the time they arrived. At 6 o'clock, West Midlands police were in place, cordoning off the Bullring shopping centre. But the groups kept moving. Some campaigners say these scenes were waiting to happen.
I've got absolute sympathy with the young people who are out here tonight. We've seen 20% of our young people unemployed in Birmingham. We've had Connections Youth Services being shut down. We've had job centres being shut down. Further education places are being cut in Birmingham. So there's no education, there's no jobs, and there's no youth services left anymore. And I think it's absolutely, that's why I've got so much sympathy for the young people today who have just had their futures ripped apart.
National Express are urging people to leave the centre as soon as possible, but services can't get any closer than the Ring Road. West Midlands police say they will not tolerate mindless violence and damage anywhere in the West Midlands. They're calling tonight a major disorder. The Prime Minister is flying home early to find Birmingham, one of the country's cities, left in a mess by its own residents. Katie Fawcett in Birmingham for Central Tonight.
It really is very difficult to say whether the police have this under control tonight. I've been in Birmingham city centre since around 7 o'clock this evening, and I can tell you at times I was in the thick of what was going on, and it was incredibly intimidating. Now, wherever these mobs were, the riot police were moving in, but then the mobs were just moving on to different areas, and we understand the young people have been using social networks, Twitter and Facebook, to organise the riots, and that's how they've been communicating to decide where to move next, always trying to stay one step ahead of the police. Now, I've seen people brazenly taking designer clothes from shops, taking mobile phones, taking electrical goods from the shops that they've just smashed up. Now, it is a mess in the city centre, and I think the full extent of that will become clear, obviously, when morning dawns tomorrow. Now, at the moment, the main streets into Birmingham city centre remain sealed off. Also, the entrance to New Street Station is sealed off, so this is still an ongoing situation.
Becky, thank you very much. Well, a short time ago, West Midlands Police and Birmingham City Council spoke to our reporter, Charlotte Grant.
People arrived in our city around about 6:30. It was obvious from that moment they were intent on violence. I've witnessed shop windows being put in, looting going on. My officers, I have a duty to protect them, so therefore we put them into public order gear when it starts getting violence on our streets. We will be making more arrests tonight, but we do have messages for the public. Please ring up your children. There's a lot of young people still in the city centre. Ring them up, tell them to go home. This is not a safe place to be. We're making more arrests. Violence continues.
What is the plan for tonight?
Well, the plan is to contain the situation, to try and make sure that we protect as much property as possible, and to get the children, and they are children in the main, home. And parents, you've got a responsibility. Your children have got mobile telephone numbers. Phone them, find out where they are, get them home.
In other news, as Derby deals